everybody out there? This is Popular Stranger, and we are back at you again today with another Madden 22 Ultimate Team video. In today's video, we're gonna go over some fundamentals of the auction house, the #1 way to make coins in MUT 22, and just helping you guys get a better understanding of the market in MUT 22, what's going on right now, what to expect in the future, what's coming up in the next couple weeks or so. If you guys find this video helpful, if you found my video searching around YouTube for ways to understand Madden Ultimate Team, make coins, get your team better, make sure you hit that subscribe button. I would appreciate it. And if you find this video helpful, be sure to click that thumbs up because it does support the channel, and you guys have been supporting it a lot over the last week, so thank you so much. But it helps the channel grow, it helps my videos get noticed, and I really would appreciate it. Let's get on into it. So the #1 way to make coins in any Ultimate Team mode, whether it's Diamond Dynasty, Madden Ultimate Team, FIFA Ultimate Team, is always going to be buy low and sell high. Like, that's the #1 go-to method. It's going to work every single day of the week. We don't have to wait for a promo to come out. We don't have to wait for any content to drop. It's specifically the best way to make coins in Madden Ultimate Team. So let's go over the fundamentals and basics of sniping cards. So some of you guys may know a lot of this stuff already. This is more catered towards the newer people who maybe picked up Madden Ultimate Team for the first time this year. The most basic and easy thing you can do, and for the most part, when it comes to sniping, you're going to want to shoot for elites or higher. Well, I mean, I guess it doesn't really get higher than elites, but gold cards right now aren't really the move to be sniping, though we will talk about in a little while in the video why those are going to become very valuable and why you should be hanging on to them. But it's pretty simple, and I think right now with the number of cards that we have in the game, all you want to simply do is just pick an overall. We'll actually go with something a little bit higher. We'll go like 84, 85, right? And then we're just going to sort by each position. And what we're looking for, you know, we're going to see that when we sort by quarterback, we got Deshaun Watson for 26 and then 28K. We're going to go through each position and, you know, say we get back around to quarterback and we see a Deshaun Watson out there for 20K. That's considered a snipe. That's what we want to buy immediately as fast as you can. Now, you got to be beating out other people who are probably going to be doing this, so you got to be very quick with it. But what I like to do is just go through each single position, and we're going to see if we can find a card that's cheaper than the others. Now, here's a really good example that we could potentially make coins from, but we want to use some additional resources to find out if it's going to be profitable or not. We have two Alvin Kamaras, and they're both basically about 28K. And then the next closest one is 33K, almost 34 if you round up. So in this situation, this is what I would be doing, right? I'm thinking, can I buy both of these at the 28K mark and then relist them for 33K? It's not a huge profit, but about 1,500 coins. And right now, making a 1,500 coin profit because cards are taxed by 10% after you sell them, so make sure you have a calculator handy as well if you want to be flipping cards and sniping cards. A 1,500 coin profit this early in the year to me is absolutely money, and I'm going to take it any day of the week. So what I would do is I would head on over to MUTGG, and this is a website you definitely need to have booked on your computer, on your smartphone, because it just gives you so many different tools on what you can do. But I'm basically going to say, you know what, I need to look up Alvin Kamara's pricing, so I'm going to go ahead and click him, and we are going to click prices once we get to his player page. Now, I am on the PlayStation market right now. You can switch between Xbox and PC, but I basically want to see, what is this card actually selling for? Is he selling for 33K? Will he sell for 33K? And as I look at the recent sales here on the website MUT.gg, I'm not really showing that it's going for that amount. It's actually selling for right around the 28K, maybe 29 we could get, but after you factor in the tax of 10%, it's just not profitable. But this is why I love this website. It's a great tool to use because if this data showed, and there's a lot of other information on here over to the right, but if this data showed that this car was consistently selling for 33, 34, 35K, I'm going to buy these two cards at 28K. I'm going to relist them for 33, 34, 35K, wait for them to sell, and we're going to make profit. So we're going to move along, continue to go through each position on the auction house until we can hopefully find one. Now, being that I'm live recording this video, more than likely we're not going to find anything to snipe, but I guess here's another good example, right? We got Keenan Allen and you're gonna have to be quick with your decisions. Once you go through the market and get an understanding of prices and become familiar with them, you'll be able to do this much quicker. But I'm seeing, Keenan Allen is 2K under right now, the next price. So again, I'm gonna head over to MUT.GG. I pull up his player page here, and this one's a little different, right? We have the card up for 23K. And by the way, these results on the website are up to date very quickly. I see that this card is actually selling for about 25, 26, even 27K, which this could be a buy, right? But when you factor in the tax, I think if you sold it for 26K minus the 10%, I think it would be like 23,400, I believe. So it'd be like a 300 coin profit. So once again, not really worth doing it here, but we're getting closer in this Keenan Allen, and you can always just refresh the same position here, and somebody actually bought that card as we were kind of going through our demonstration. So the object here is just simply to go through each card and hope that you get lucky. There's a lot of snipes out there. The best time to do this is absolutely going to be during the weekend. There is no other day that is more active on the auction house than a Saturday. Fridays are good too. By the way, this Kenny Clark kind of feels like it would be a good buy, so if it's still available here, I'm gonna buy him at 31,100. And then I'm going to go and relist him. I'm going to say for about 36,000. It's a small profit, but it'll work. So Fridays are going to be good because a lot of times promos come out on Fridays. We're going to be getting a new promo this Friday, the MUT Superstar promo. We know Legends are coming Saturdays because of people's work schedules and life schedules, and the fact that we get Legends, which are usually the best cards in the game, and later on down the road, we'll get Ultimate Legends. Saturdays are always going to be the most active day on the auction house. So that's usually going to be the best day for sniping. New promo days and Saturdays in general. Now, one other tip about selling here. I was actually inspired to kind of do this video based off of a video I did all the way back in MUT 16. And it was very similar, talking about ways to use the auction house, the best times to buy and sell. And one advice that I gave back then in 2016 was selling cards at night. Usually there's less people on at night, so people are a little more desperate to buy and pay over the price that they normally should for a card. But I'll be honest, I think that advice is wrong now, because over the last at least 2 years, one thing that I've noticed when flipping cards a lot is that the auction house gets really weird around about 11 p.m. Eastern time to about 7 to 8 a.m. Eastern time in the morning, and that cards that typically were going for more start to go for less. And I can't explain why. Maybe one of you guys can. You would think it would be the opposite. Again, less users on at night, less supply, more demand, but it's just not been the case. Could it change back to the old ways this year? Who knows? We'll have to find out, wait and see. But the auction house during the hours, right, of about 11 p.m. Eastern to 8 a.m. Eastern, very weird. So if you're going to be listing cards at nighttime or before you go to bed, I would always overlist them just in case that happens. And if the card doesn't sell overnight, it's more than likely not the end of the world, right? You can just go back and list it the other day. Another thing about selling cards, the best time to sell cards absolutely is during the week. We talked about the best time to snipe cards is on the weekend. That's when prices get really low. We'll have videos with actual examples once we start getting into these weekend rhythms. But it's always going to be best to sell cards on like Tuesdays, Wednesdays, even Thursdays, because people are trying to load up their team for weekend league. And then the worst time to sell cards is usually going to be Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Monday is kind of give or go, or give or take a little bit. It varies based on the year and the time and what's going on, whatever content we got. But again, just to reiterate here, unless you're desperate for the coins, I would never sell items on the weekends. It's just never worth it, and you're never going to maximize your profit. Now, if you're in your binder and you want to sell a card, one thing that some of you might not know, most of you probably do, and it's funny because that MUT 16 video that I referenced, that was the first year that we got this feature. In the old days, before MUT 16, we actually had to go to the auction house or go to MUTGG.com and look up the pricing on a card, write it down, memorize it, and then sell it. Now, all you have to do is press one simple button, and there's actually another auction house feature that was added this year that I'm going to show you. But for now, if you're in your binder, if you hit L1 on PlayStation, or I believe it's left bumper on Xbox, it will pull up the auctions for this particular card. So here is the Kenny Clark card that we just bought, and as you can see, the cheapest one up is 37,100 coins. I just paid about 31,000 coins for this card. So I'm going to go ahead and list it for sale now. So to sell a card, you're in your binder. Once again, you're going to hit X on PlayStation, A on Xbox. It's going to bring you to this screen, and you're going to go down to auction. Very basic stuff here, but this screen is a lot different. This is new to MUT 22, and a lot of people were worried this was going to stop sniping or slow down sniping, and I just don't see any evidence that it will. It's going to bring more education to you guys as far as buyers and sellers, but I still think the bots are going to be the bots. The people who are uninformed are still going to be uninformed, and you're still going to be able to take advantage of people who do so. So on the right, or I guess I should say in the middle, in between the post section and the card art, we have the lowest buy now price. That for always says 0, so I'm not, like, I just ignore that at this point. The median price is like the average price that this card has been selling for, and as you can see, about $33,550. I think when we looked at that card on MUTGG, it pretty much reflected the same thing. And then the third item on here is how many are available currently, and there's 6 of these on the auction house. 6 people are selling them. This updates all the time. Now, the recent sales section is really useful for me if I'm trying to sell cards on the fly, because you don't have to look up or memorize as much information. You can see that the card that I bought for 31,100 coins is there. You can see not too long ago, somebody paid 39K for it. Somebody right after me paid 36K for it. And again, if we back out and go to our auction, our binder, and hit L1, we can see the current values here. Now somebody has listed one for 35. So I'm going to go ahead and I think I'm going to safely list one for about 36,000 coins. And after tax, I think I'm gaining, it'd be like 1,300 coins. Not a ton. I totally understand that a lot of you are going to say, Pop, that's just not worth it to me. Totally get it. But to me, early in the year, making a profit like that is worth it. So for the most part, you're going to want to post your cards for 1 hour, because cards that are posted for more than 1 hour sometimes can get lost in the auction house. But another thing that I will recommend is you don't always have to list a card for the lowest price. Unless you're desperate for the coins and you need them right away, a couple different tactics you can take is maybe overpricing your card, but putting it up for either 8, 12, or 1 day, 24 hours, right? Somebody might eventually bite on it. Again, this is if you're not desperate for the coins. And if it doesn't sell, you can always relist it. You're not going to lose your card if it doesn't sell, okay? Another thing that you could do, we talked about the weird hours during the nighttime, is overprice your card at nighttime, put it up for 12 hours. If it didn't sell while you were asleep, well, guess what? You can go ahead and take it down, relist it up again for another 12 hours during the day, and see if somebody bites then. For the purposes of this video and just trying to sell this card and make a little bit of a profit though, we're gonna put it up for 36K, we'll put it up for 1 hour, and there it is. So once somebody sells it to me, we'll get our coins back minus the 10%, and we'll make a little bit of profit. Now, we'll end the video by talking about a couple different types of cards in the game right now. So gold cards are a lot cheaper than I expected right now, early in the year. And normally they're a lot more expensive, but here's the thing. There was an animation leak this morning from MUT Leaks on Twitter about Team Diamonds. And if you're unfamiliar with Team Diamonds, for the last couple years, what they are, they're sets, right? And each team has their own set that typically requires the majority of the core cards, core golds, core elites, sometimes core silvers, depending on the team. But these sets give you like an 89, 90, 91 overall player. In exchange for that, you have to collect or insert into the set all of these cards from each individual team. And that usually makes gold cards expensive. Some core elites are going to be expensive. Hell, some silvers might even be in there that are going to be expensive. So I would say, to me, I mean, if you take a look at the amount of gold cards, I have 548 gold cards in my possession right now. That also includes rookie cards and power-ups. I'm not selling a thing. I am not selling a thing, because when those Team Diamond sets come out, I'm going to be prepared for them. I can probably get a lot of them done right away, but also if I have duplicates of these cards, or if there's a super expensive, like, you know, fullbacks are usually overly expensive. Unfortunately, I don't have any. Offensive linemen become very expensive with these type of sets. So as far as just a standpoint of should I be buying or selling right now, the market always goes up after the initial release. Right now, I still think it's down. It's still pretty similar to what we've seen, you know, during the EA Play Early Access, and the worldwide launch doesn't even come out until this Friday. So I would still be holding. I'm not selling anything. You can see I have over 1,000 items in my binder right now. Gold cards are going to go up from Team Diamonds. Core Elites are probably going to go up from Team Diamonds. And just in general, even with a new promo coming out Friday and Legends coming out Saturday, prices always go up after the first week. The data has shown from MUT 19, 20, 21. And I just don't see any reason why it would change all of a sudden this year. Could I be wrong? You never know. I've been wrong before, but I just feel pretty confident that the market's going to go up. So again, if you're desperate for coins and you got to sell, go for it. Totally understand. If you're not, I would be hanging on to everything that you have. And that's all the advice that I have for you today in this video. If there's anything that you want me to cover regarding the auction house, buying and selling, something I missed in this video, leave it down below in the comments section and I'll try to check it out. Maybe we'll do a follow-up on this video. For now, thank you so much for watching. My name is Popular Stranger. I'm out. Peace.